when we looked at like, I think that's like, I always think that people put more thought into joining the military. They're like, oh, I'm going to like save lives and defend my country. So even now, like I always say, bro, I would never, ever in my life fight for this country. Like you couldn't pay me enough to be like, Malik, go to war for this country because this country don't give a fuck about me. How do you feel right now being in the military with everything going on? Like you're really in a crazy time right now too, with like shit going on. So how do you feel?
I would say with the military, it's not hard for me, right? Yeah. Like for like as far as PT, as far as what the military expects of you.
Yeah.
You know, just things that just the kind of military life. But when it comes to war, you know, we have a saying. It's kind of like that hua, and I would. As far as fight,
of course,
for the country, but for the reasons of who I'm going with, like I got people that I met from South Carolina, people from Missouri, people from I think Chicago. I think that's where my young boy from. But just like knowing that we can get called to war and I'm with them, it's like I'm gonna fight for them.
Damn, that's a crazy analogy I never thought about. Like,
because it's like those are my guys, and I wouldn't want nothing to happen to them. And like even the people in like my platoon, and I don't need to really get into the terminology, but just who I'm with. Yeah. Like, I don't really rock with all of them per se, but like in a way, if we went to war, like I gotta bring them back home too.
Exactly. Oh, okay. So that's what you're thinking for you. No, I'm not saying like everybody.
For me, for me, it's just like
for you, it's like I gotta make sure my boys are safe. Like,
I gotta bring my boy Mo. My boy, we call him Yak. He from Atlanta. He different. I don't know if you met him on FaceTime, but him, my boy Dorson, Evans, Pat.
Is crazy though. I know that.
Yeah, my boy Patty. All of them. It's just like I would go to war for them. Facts. So that's where kind of the shift is, and for my wife too. Like because she's military with me. If she was to get deployed, it's like first of all, I don't even want her going to war. Yeah. And you know we have conversations, but really, knowing that she could be over there too is like we got to come back home for E. You know, so definitely.
It's even like when it's just like so. Have you dealt with like in the military that there's like people always like there's still racism that exists even in the military. Do you see racism exist in the military?
I think you can. In my case, no, not really racism. Okay. No, I haven't experienced it. Yeah. And at the same time, too, I guess the people that's in the military now were the people that joined back in like 2001 when 9/11 happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like a lot of them, like they're coming up on retirement. You know, 20 years. You know, whatever that's coming up for them. So they're kind of getting pushed out to where like you know the leaders now is a bunch of my fault. It's just a younger, I guess, generation to where like racism still does exist, but like I could see old army. We call it old army. Like I could see that being different.
Really?
Because a lot like I think the army changes with the times too. Yeah. Like the civilian world, as far as just like things from the LGBTQ,
all that stuff,
to like you know different cancel culture movements. So like they can adjust to where you know they need to see fit just in the world that we're living into. But
do you see that like have you seen like the old army like give you pushback in regards to like how shit is now, or like are you guys fighting against like young and old?
Yes.
Really?
I would think so. Yeah, because the thing is like when I joined, which was last year, it's kind of like the new army. Okay. So like they're a little bit softer, you know. As far as what things they can do, like so like a drill sergeant is when you go off to basic whatever, and those are the people are charging you for whatever amount of time you are with them to like train your job. But like even their approach, because that's where it starts, right? Like that's you new to the military. Old army, they could take you like in the back, the drill sergeants, and you talk crazy the wrong way. They're like, yo, come here, private, like you know, come to this closet with me. Bop, 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 you know, beat you up. Now you can't do that.
I would love that shit though.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I joined, I kind of wanted that because it's like where I'm from. So it's just like, all right, let's just see how tough this really is. And then when I went there, it was like.
So there's a funny comedian, Shane Gillis. He went to Air Force Academy. I think he went to Air Force Academy for football. So he was there, and after like the first week, he quit. He was like, I'm not doing this shit. And they asked him like, yo, how is it? They're like, yo, how is like. In comparison, like he was like, "Yo, college football is way harder than basic training." And like, really, he's like, college football. Like, he's like, I went to a D3 school that their camp was harder than what I experienced.
Right. Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So like, how was it actually going through basic training? Like, everyone always talks about like when I look at basic training, it's always like this. I always say in my next life, I'll be a SEAL. Like, so I'm like, yo,
if you're gonna do some stuff like that, still makes sense. Yeah.
And I'm a good swimmer. I'm a nigga that's a good swimmer.
If you want that real, we call it like that hua, like that real, I guess, military experience, the SEALs, you got Rangers, you got Special Forces. That stuff, yeah,
their training is different.
Yeah, their training is, because that's like top tier people.
So do you feel like when you look back at like, I don't know, it's not at that level, but like high school football and like basketball camp, was it different than what you experienced there, or was something a little harder or different?
I would say football. I would say like football. Remember, like we had 2 practices a day.
Yeah,
like we would go in the heat. Yeah, I would say that was more harder than basic training. I feel like on a physical standpoint.
Okay.
But from a mental standpoint, because you're away from family, you're away from things that you know, I would say mentally it messed with me more because she was pregnant at the time too. So I was really thinking about her.
Yeah.
So more than anything.
That was the hardest part for you, think?
That was the hardest part, was just the separation. As far as physical stuff,
the tiredness too, because you guys are up so early.
Yo, the first couple of days, bro, they call it it's in processing, bro, and they had this something called the 43rd, and it's just like you get all these shots, they get in your information. It's just admin work, for like 5 days, and boy, you tired.
Really, just
because it's a thing too, like with the Army. I don't know about the other branches, it's like we rush to wait. Like they rush you for you to be waiting for something. So like let's just say like it's a special. It's just we have a speaker that's coming. Retired whoever, sergeant major. Like they'll rush us on hit times on where we need to be, and we really make those times. And then like we get there, and like we'll be waiting for like 2 hours or whatever until the person comes. So it's like you rush to wait.
Yeah, it's like out of respect almost of like. Yeah, to make sure he's not waiting on us.
But sometimes it's like, bro, like I could have slept for like another hour and still get up. You know what I'm saying? But it actually kind of sucked because my first day, because they don't do like Hell Week or none of that stuff anymore. That's what I'm saying. Is going like it's changing with the times. So this little shark attack they did with us was really us getting off the bus until we got to our barracks. But like I wasn't drinking any water, so I was dehydrated. So I had a headache, and it was raining. So I got off the bus. This girl just slips, falls. Everybody tramples over her. She's done. That was her basic training experience, her military experience. She was done right there.
She get a medal for that though.
She got a check. She said from the Army.
But she gets a medal too, cause she was. I mean, she gets a medal. I think.
Yeah.
During war times,
something like that.
She gets something, bro.
Bro, so we sitting on the bus, right? We got the bags. The drill sergeant with the hat come on. He like, welcome to such and such and such and such. Now get the fuck off my bus. So the door is open. Everybody's just
you
running.
are a cinematic ass nigga,
yeah,
bro.
no, that's how it was.
Everything for you is a movie.
Yeah, it's like you got to put your head down and join. It's like you get off. Come on, let's go. Come on, get on. They all yelling and whatnot. We get to our barracks and whatnot, and like we just pushing. They got us doing workouts. So we got to find our bags. Our bags is over here, and that was just
Was the workouts tough for you?
The workouts weren't tough. Nah.
Did you prepare? Like, did you work out before you went?
I went to the gym and put size on. I think when I left, I was probably like 200. And then
I feel you lost crazy weight.
I did lose crazy weight when I was there.
Smaller.
I mean, and like.
Well, what's the most they would make you do, like in a setting, like push-up wise?
It depends really on the drill sergeant, but like.
Cause I know there's some niggas that there's no way they're getting through it. Like there's no way you could do pull-ups.
No, I mean we did pull-ups.
I mean, did everybody could do pull-ups.
Not everybody. Like you would have to assist them.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you have to assist them, but like. There was this one drill sergeant Ryan, and he was just a beast. Like he can be down there at the push up for
a
while, bro. Like you would think you got him, and like in my head I'm like, all right, we only going to 20. Like I know he messing with us, but the cadence is like 1, 2, 3, 1. But that like that to 20, yeah, 1. That counts to 20.
Up, down, 1.
Yeah. So and he went to 20 one time.
So that's 40. That's a 40 clip.
That's a 40 clip. So then like we get to 40, like but then like they'll mess with you or like they be like half down, lean to the left, lean to the right, hold it and whatnot, and then he just keep going.
Yeah.
But then like the craziest thing I remember was because it was him, but the craziest thing I ever seen, it was off a simple workout. It was drill sergeant Montez, and he did like this over the hand clap, and you did like this. Boy did like 100 something of them. So it was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, and he did 100, and I'm like, yeah. And then like he was done, and he had like his mean mug face. He's like, "See, privates, I told you I'm nothing to fuck with," like something like that. That was the craziest thing.
So would you how funny is the military? I feel like there's so many comedians that I know that actually were in the military. And you're like, you were in the military? Like, yeah, I was military. Like Gary Owen, D-Lay, all these
Gary
guys.
Owens, I seen his special when he was talking about
he was in the
Was it the Navy or was it
Navy?
the
Because he was in Cali.
Yeah.
It was Navy. So like, how funny is it? Really funny? Because I can tell you right now, when I pledged, that shit was funny as fuck. It was funny. It's some funny niggas. Football, you know, it's clowns there. So there's always clowns. That's the only way you get through it. Is to laugh through this shit.
So it's common grounds. I think with pledging, like the military, like that whole brotherhood thing. I wouldn't dive deep into it. It is different at the same time. Yeah, but like, it's funny because you rocking with people. Yeah. So I was going for 20 weeks. So like these are who I'm gonna be living with for 20 weeks, and it's just like different ages, different races.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Different reasons.
Yeah.
You know, somehow people are brought up, and we just all in the same bay. They call it the bay. We all are just in the same area.
Was that ever a funny moment?
Funny moments all the time, bro. People wanting to fight.
Really?
We actually had a slap boxing league.
Really?
Yeah, we had a slap boxing league. We got in trouble for.
Who took the W?
I mean, my boy Keyshawn Trice.
Was you in it?
Shout out, he in Germany. I ran it. I helped ran it. You know, I was the person with the card, and I had people's names on there. Like,
back off the mic a little bit.
Oh, my phone. They was like, yeah, I had the people's names and whatnot. So I would say like, all right, you know, at this time, this is who's fighting, and like we had these gloves, these winter gloves, because we had to do something. We was just in there bored, and we got caught, and then we had to do this thing where we had to wear like full kit. They call it, like the whole vest and the helmet to bed and everything.
How you get caught?
So we was where we were, where the slapboxing league was. There was a back door, and our senior drill sergeant had came in, snuck up on us.
Why y'all sitting there slapboxing?
Yeah, he's like, everybody meet me downstairs.
Yo, I got to send you an episode of D-Lay. He's a comedian. Did you miss your podcast? He was running illegal gambling because he had night watch. So every time he had night watch, they had gambling. Yeah, and he would just be there like, oh, we got night watch, we gambling tonight. So everybody up with me, like we having fun, and they got caught. And he was like, oh, night watch. He was like, they're like, D-Lay, who are these people missing? He's like, that's what I'm trying to figure out too.
Nah, so we had something called Fire Guard.
Yeah, Fire Guard. That's what it is.
So we had something called Fire Guard, and the people would come in, like the drill sergeants on that shift. And like basically on the hour, every hour, somebody has a job they got to do. Yeah. Like some people mop, some people do this. And at that time, we had to wear the whole full kit. Yeah. And our drill sergeant that we had, she was just mad at us. She was like, "Yeah, y'all full kit until y'all graduate." And like, yeah, you sleeping with the stuff on.
Damn.
And, then, and how they just come in the room in the morning, you know, like just wake up, get up. You know what I mean?
Is that shit traumatizing?
Like
after you got out of there, was you like traumatized by like, oh my god, like alarm clock going off?
I wasn't traumatized, but it definitely woke you up because like you're so tired. So when you finally get sleep, it's like you on that break at like.
But can you go to sleep now early? Like you can go to sleep like for y'all niggas, y'all used to go to sleep like 8 and wake up at 4.
Yeah, so I wake up at like 4 every day now. Like, and this is like no BS. I try to wake up at 3:30. So I can like take my time in bed. Yeah. So then when 4 o'clock hits, I do my uniform, iron it, get where me and my wife will get my son together and then try to get him to daycare at like 5 o'clock for us to go and try to make.
What time y'all going to sleep?
PT. So for me it's different because so I'm military police. Yeah. I'm the ops. Just in case y'all know. So my job is a little different in the military. So with me I'm working night shift right now. Okay. But when it wasn't, it was just like I would get home around like probably like 9:30, 10.
So now you're working throughout the night.
Now I'm working like the graveyard shift.
So then, damn. So your wife, she goes in during the day.
So like we kind of switch. Yeah. So when she goes to work, I'm coming home. Yeah. So like I'm sleep during. So I get home around 6:30 in the morning. So the shift is 10 o'clock at night. Really 8:30 because I have to like get my weapon and my OC spray and taser and all that. And
you ain't doing shit.
I know we do. I can tell you some stories too. So 10 to 6 in the morning is the shift. Yeah. I get home around like probably like 6:20, 6:30 depending on. And then she's headed out the door. Okay. So she can make her PT like physical fitness.
She drops them off at daycare.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure it out now actually because we just picked him up. So when we go back, that's going to be the schedule. Yeah. Like she's leaving or when I'm leaving, she's coming.
Yeah. You can't get off gray shift.
We rocking from mid shift until like January. Now the beauty in it is being an MP, there's different cycles. So right now we're on the road, which is like blue cycle, and then like green cycle is like in the field. Okay. And with the field environment, it may be a little bit better and different. And that's when we do like the whole Army stuff.
So will you stay a Army police officer or you move? Like as you said, the cycle, like, you can move to different jobs?
Yeah, so like with my MOS, like my military job, being a military police is kind of split. because we do the law enforcement side, and then when it's times for war, like we do law enforcement, but then in like a deployed setting almost, and basically just like we call them like ACPs, like traffic control points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, stuff like that, or like TCPs. I mean, traffic control points, just to make sure whoever's coming in at the time, you know, we're just tracking. So we kind of like make a way for infantry, and infantry is the big dogs. Like that's the people.
So you always talk like I don't know if you want to talk about this, but some of the cases you always send us is domestic violence case. Like do you like? I feel like when in the military, these guys that are in the military, they find a girl quick, marry her so they could be with her, or something quick like that. They don't even know this girl. This girl comes live there, and then there's this that happens. So do you see mostly domestic violence cases?
You see a lot. You see a lot. So you see suicides, you see domestic violence, you see
you've seen
like
suicide
petty ones. So there was one suicide where a person on the highway. It's kind of hard to say if it was like, it's not really on our post, but on the highway going towards like you can hit our post that way, and it was this homeless person that got hit with a box truck, and like their body was just everywhere.
Fuck that.
And like but there's suicides where like. I was on shift with a call of suicide. I didn't go to this one, but a dude, a soldier, hung himself. And then just last week, there was a dude with a shotgun, 19-year-old.
That shot himself?
On our post, yeah.
So, like, it's mental, like, why do they deal with so much mental health issues when, like, they're not away at war? Like, why do you think they're dealing with so much there?
I think it's new. Like, when you're 18, 19, like, and you go to college, you're stressed because it's a new environment, but you have people there, that can.
Do you guys have that support, that mental health support there?
So they do, and for some reasons, me being in the military, I can't,
of course,
touch on it.
Yeah,
but I can say like, it's a checkbox.
Oh yeah, that's everywhere though. Sometimes it's everywhere. It's just a checkbox.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Let's just say us first. I can use us culturally. They'd be like, you gotta go to therapy, bro.
Yeah.
But like black people be like, bro, I'm not paying money to go talk about my feelings with somebody.
Someone I don't know.
Yeah. So it's that I don't. I'm just guessing. I don't know. As far as with them, it could be like, I'm here in the military. I could go to this place, but if I go to this place, am I considered crazy? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think just being away from home and then just like. I mean, at the same time, we train to kill people. Yeah. So I don't know if it's war that scares them.
Yeah.
Because it is what you signed up for at the end of the day. You just got to know what you're signing up for. But a lot of the times, it's like, it's a younger age. I would say like between 18 and 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit's so crazy, man.
And at that time, too, you got to think, like, when I was between that age, it was like I was figuring out life, too.
Yeah.
Back in like 2018, like I said, we was trying to figure out things, but they're trying to figure it out in a setting where they're teaching you how to prepare just in case we go to war. So it might be just a little different.
Wow.
So
if you can go back, would you do it all over again?
As far as the military?
Like, let's say your life, if someone's like, yo, I can offer you a road to college or I can offer you a road to the military, which one would you choose it again?
I would do military because it just fits. I don't got to sit in the classroom. And
it fits who you are as a person.
Yeah, and sometimes I think, too, like, it has its blessings because I met my wife. Like, we met in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, like, as far as starting over, it would probably be the military.